I remember routers back in the analog domains when, like WABC, we'd be selling big analog desks, and SAS, which was originally a Canadian company that came out. They had these big analog routers, but it was a lot of cable. You still had bundles of cable from the rack room going to 5 or 6, or to punch blocks. Let's say console comes down to a punch block. We do all these cross connects. Then you'd have these 3 or 4 channels that could be anything, and then we could take this console and send it anywhere to master control, directly to air. We could pick up a prod room, pull it up in the on-air room. But when it came to digital routing, and this had to be, we started looking at 98, 99, I think we started coming out with the bridge router. 2001, I think it became real.
That's correct.
And that was a game changer for the company.
Absolutely, as it was for the whole industry.
Yeah.
Because routing, once it became, routing's always been there. TV guys have been doing it forever. But once it became practical and affordable for a typical radio plant, consolidation became useful. And consolidation, as everybody who's had anything to do with radio knows, was a huge wave that happened back there, where lots of radio stations got combined into one facility, saving some folks tons of money in the process.
Yeah, the bean counters in broadcast saw 5 little entities around a city and said, well, we can have 1 accounting staff, we can have 1 sales staff, we can have 1 receptionist, and we're going to save all this. But the broadcast engineer said, I can put everything in the rack room under lock and key. I can have everything in the most secure, environmentally protected area in the radio station. What I saw with this routing stuff was all the PCs going back there. Instead of having a hybrid in every single room, hey, let's put, and if you have a source, which is a CD player or a hybrid, and you put that in a studio, it's a source. But if you take that device and you put it in the rack room and you put it on a router, now it's a resource.
That's right.
And you can use that for anything that you need to, given limited permissions and what the engineering. And I know the whole consolidation was driven by the bean counters and pulling all these studios or these stations into one building. But the guys who really made out was the engineers.
Sure.
Well,
they actually didn't, Jay, because they got discovered by the bean counters, and so now instead of supporting 1 or 2 stations, they have to support 10. And it caught up with them eventually.
Yeah, but they were able to leverage technology to do this.
Yeah.
And that is having something in the digital domain. And we were talking, TDM back there. Nothing wrong with TDM. It was, in my mind, it was designed for audio. It just worked. It was very robust. We all used it. We still use it, even though we talk in IP later on and today in IP products. In those products, all that stuff communicates via
Of course,
TDM.
And it's the natural thing.